double check that everyone can hear my voice. I think I just checking whether you all have the voice dot. So Anaya Devi has a voice dot. Roadside roadside friend. I don't think he has got a voice dot, and I am not sure if he's able to hear my voice. Uh, John Stanton has his voice dot enabled. So I'll just ask Anaya and John Stanton, can you hear my voice? Can you type Y or yes or one so that I will get to know that you can hear my voice. Okay, okay, great, great. John Stanton, can you hear my voice? Okay, I think Mr. Uh, I'm just checking. I think Mr. Okan does not have the voice dot enable, and he will not be able to listen to me. But anyway, I'm just recording this session, so after that I can upload in the my YouTube channel, and then he or anyone who has missed the session can listen to it. So a little introduction about myself. I think Dima uh, you know told a lot of praise about me. I think I don't deserve that. So I will just quickly brief about myself. This is Bodhi. I am from India, and around 3 years back, I went through a very difficult mental health crisis, and it was the time of the COVID. And to get out of that, I mean, to get rid of that mental health crisis, or I sought traditional treatment. I mean, the medicinal treatment. Along with, I learned mindfulness. So one psychologist, he was the head of the department in an Indian mental health hospital. He actually taught me mindfulness, and from there I started practicing mindfulness. I started learning more about positive psychology and other things which is related to our mental health and brain health. At the same time, I was reading different books on Buddhism. I knew the story of Buddha since my childhood, and I always was surprised that he was a son of a prince. I mean, he was a prince and he was a son of a king, King Sudhodhana from India. Right now, it is in Nepal. And I always ask this question that he had everything possible at that point of time. He was a son of a king, and he had a beautiful wife called Yashodhara. He had a son called Rahula. He had an entire kingdom to rule. Then why suddenly he left everything and became, an ascetic? He became a monk, and he started his journey towards nirvana. Because in the modern world, we are always trying to get more, you know, possess more, or achieve more, and we think that that will bring us peace and happiness. But the journey of Buddha always fascinated me, that how come he did something which we never desire in the modern world, where we believe that having more money, having more status, or having more wealth would make us happy. So that was there in my childhood, but I did not read anything about Buddha or any of his teachings in rigorous manner. But after I had my mental health crisis in 2021-22, then I started reading different books of uh, on Buddhism. So in second life and also in real life, I also take some session in real life as well. And I always try to connect the teachings of Buddha to the modern science, to neuroscience, to psychology. And I found Buddha was a very smart person, and he showed us something, or he showed us a path about true happiness, true peace. and nirvana. So all my talks or all my session are based on the modern research and the theory about psychology and neuroscience. At the same time, I try to connect the dots between the teachings of Buddha and this psychology and neuroscience, because I was taught by a psychologist about the mindfulness. I was not taught by any guru or any master. So, and I myself, as a student of science, and I always felt that if I can bring more evidence based result, if I can tell more research report, if I can tell something tangible, then more people will have faith about mindfulness, about some other practices, and they can practice and get the result just like thousands of people have got the result in the past. So we all knew about the mindfulness movement. It started in 60s and 70s by a person called John Kabat-Zinn, and also Teach Nhat Hanh, brought it into America in the Western world, and then we got to know about this mindfulness. And previously, it was limited to only the Buddhist monks and those people who are Buddhist, or those people who are into Buddhist religion. And mindfulness is also there in Hinduism to some extent. I am born Hindu, but after that, for last few years, I have been following the teachings of Buddha. So I can always find the intersection between Hinduism and Buddhism. So in Hinduism also, some form of mindfulness was there. So today I thought I will discuss a topic called peace. And my sessions are very casual. Don't get it, take it very like strict or very traditional, like like a lecture kind of thing. If you can feel like you can ask me any question at any point of time, and I also learn from you. I have found that we all are born to help each other. I cannot do anything alone. So it's not like that I have come here and I'm sharing whatever the things that I have learned. I am also learning from you. So today we will talk a little about peace, but from the psychology and neuroscience point of view. But before I start, I just want to have a, and feel free to bring your cup of coffee, just have a comfortable sitting. If you feel like lying down, that is also fine. You can just listen to my voice. You don't need to look at the screen of the Second Life. You don't need to look at the screen of your laptop. If you feel like, you can just close your eyes and you can just listen to my voice. It's a very casual, casual session. Sorry, I have a weird accent, Indian accent of English. It's not like UK or USA, but I hope you can understand my voice. You can understand my accent. So before I start about the session, I would like to have a little input from you. What is peace to you? I mean, how do you define peace? Like, if I ask you, what makes you peaceful, what would be your answer? So you can just type in the local chat, or you can you can just increase, I mean, you can just speak in your through your mic as well. So I'm just increase all your volume, so if you start speaking, I should be able to hear. So can you guys just give me a little input or little example from your side, that what does peace mean to you, or what makes you peaceful? Anything, any answer is fine. There is nothing right or wrong. And then I will go into the topic. So you can just type in the chat box, or you can feel free to switch on your mic and you can answer. Okay, so John said that multitasking, AFK, but listening. Ah, that is fine, John. I'm glad. that you're listening. So that is fine. Anaya said that peace is being in harmony. Okay, okay, good, good, great. So I got some input about peace. So thank you so much for your participation. And Dima said, I find peace in feeling my place in the universe. Ah, great, great. Like you are in the center of the universe. Great. So, Acha, Mr. Khan said that. Okay, now I think he has got the voice dot enable. Okay, great. Peace is to be total away from our worries about past and future. Yeah, definitely. We are always carrying two baggages, The baggage is about past and baggage is about future. And when we talk about the mindfulness is basically, focusing on the present moment and fully experiencing it. Okay, Anaya said in the now. Yeah, right. When we are not worrying about the future, or when we are not lamenting about the past, that also brings us peace. And John said, peace if I could get my egoic mind chattered to be quiet. Yes, yes, I can understand. We all have, the ego self, and sometimes the ego self does not let us reach our higher self, okay, which is the pure love, or you can say pure peace, or you can say, pure consciousness. Now, so we all know that peace is a multifaceted concept, and it is subjective in nature. It varies from one person to another person. That is why I asked this question, because you can see that each person's answer was different. So that shows, that proves that peace is subjective in nature. Your definition of peace might be different from my definition of peace. And Buddha, the smart person, Prince Siddhartha, you can say, he said that true peace begins by transforming ourselves. So we can find true peace, or we can discover true peace, or we can attain true peace by transforming ourselves. Okay. Now let us discuss a little bit about peace in psychology, how they define peace. So psychology says that peace is a state of inner tranquil. It's a mental state of inner tranquil, where there is absence of any stressful or any distressing thoughts or emotions. So we feel peace when we do not have any stressful thoughts, any distressful thoughts and emotion in our mind. If there is any stressful thoughts, it will not let me, be in the space of peace. And psychology also says that we feel peace when it involves our own psychological well-being. Now there are different things which comes under psychological well-being. The first thing is self-acceptance. I know, we all are going through uh, our suffering, okay, and sometimes we feel like a victim, that why God this is happening with me, why me. We all have been through this kind of situation, maybe in our job, maybe in our relationship, maybe in our family life, maybe someone was going through some difficult financial situations, and we always thought that we are victim. Why me? And we all went through a grief cycle. Okay, first we did not accept, we started fighting with our thoughts, our emotions, and then slowly, we started accepting. And the moment we started accepting something, the healing, our own healing began. So self acceptance is one of the key point under our psychological well-being. No matter what happens, And many people have different experience. Maybe some have gone through different kind of traumas, some have gone through different kind of physical problems, health issues, psychological issues, losing job, break up in relationship, anything. But the moment we accept it, then our healing comes. The second thing which comes under psychological well-being is the positive relationship, or building meaningful connection with people. Like I just told you that we all are born to help each other. No one can survive alone. Okay. uh, so we need to make positive connection, we need to make uh, meaningful connection to people, not like Facebook or Instagram, where I have got 1000 2000 3000 friends, but at the time of crisis no one comes. Not that kind of relationship. The genuine contact with people, where we can help each other, we can grow together, we can support each other. So that is another important parameter under psychological well-being. The third is any sense of purpose. Okay, any sense of purpose. Maybe you'd like to help a person, maybe you'd like to do something for the society, maybe you are just trying to you know pass it forward. Anything, anything you have. Maybe you are donating, maybe you are doing doing an event for charity. Any sense of purpose. Okay, anything. It could be anything. Maybe you are just planting trees, and anything which gives you direction, which gives you a sense of purpose. That is also an important parameter under psychological well-being. Then our resilience, how quickly we can bounce back from any kind of adversity. That also brings us peace as per psychology. And last, the sense of contentment and satisfaction. And that comes from gratitude. Nowadays, we are living in a very distracted world. We are living in the era of social media, where we are always trying to compare. We are always seeing other people posting nice photos, going to different countries, having very luxurious life, and we are thinking, oh my god, they are having wonderful time. What I am doing sitting here watching their photos on Facebook. But we don't know what hardships they are going through, what difficulties they are going through, because in social media they only post about the good things, the nice things, but they do not post about the sadness that they are having inside. Okay, so here the gratitude practice is very important. Okay, we should feel good. Whatever we have is enough. And from this mindset that I have enough, I mean, I have got food, I have got roof over my head, I have got clothes, I have got some good friends, you know, we have got Second Life, we have got Buddha Center, and this sense of gratitude brings us some kind of contentment and satisfaction. Now, this is based on psychology. Now, let's talk something about neuroscience. So, neuroscience has discovered many things about our brain after some sophisticated scanning mechanism has been discovered, has been invented. Suppose, for example, fMRI or EEG, where we can take some photos of our brain functions, which part of the brain is active, which part of the brain is not that active, where we have more gray matter, where we have more white matter. These were unknown just 40-50 years back. Even at one point of time, we thought that our brain is hardwired. So after 1819, whatever the brain we have got, the same kind of brain we have to carry till the end of our life. But now we know that is not true. Our brain is rewiring itself based on my activities that I am doing, that I am repeating, and based on the experience that I am having. And this particular concept is known as neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity basically means, the brain is plastic, it's not fixed. We can rewire our brain with our thoughts, activities, behaviors, and experience. And under neuroplasticity, there are two phenomena. One is neurogenesis, where new neurons are formed, and synaptogenesis, where new connections are being built inside our brain. So right now, we know there is a hope. No matter what happens in my brain, I can change my brain by reinforcing and repeating some kind of practice. So in neuroscience, they have found that the peaceful state of mind shows that reduced amygdala activity. So there is a small organ inside our brain which we call amygdala, and amygdala promotes a signal of fight or flight. So this amygdala has been there inside our brain for long time. Even when we were, cave dwellers, even when we were hunter gatherers. And at that point of time, we had to fight with wild animals. And whenever we were confronted or whenever we are faced with this kind of dangers, it used to give us a signal that where should we fight with the situation or should we just run away. And it has been fun. It's our survival mechanism. Okay, amygdala actually helped us survive from difficult situations in life. Now we do not have threat of wild animals. Now the threat has been very sophisticated. It has been changed a lot. But the amygdala send the same signal and makes us very distressful, makes us, gives us a panic attack, uh, makes us, gives us a lot of anxiety. So they have found those people who are having a very peaceful state, reduced activity in this particular region called amygdala, this organ called amygdala. They have also found that when you are having a very peaceful state, there is an increased activity in prefrontal cortex. We have a brain region called prefrontal cortex. So when you are having a very peaceful state, the the the, the activity in that region actually increases. Okay, and what this prefrontal cortex does, it helps us in decision making and it helps us in emotional regulation. Okay, so that is why no we said that don't worry, be calm and composed, you can take a good decision, keep yourself calm, and then you will have more clarity. Or sometimes say, be calm and carry on. A lot of motivational wallpaper, a lot of stickers, and a lot of graphics on our coffee cup. There is this kind of saying, be calm and carry on. Because when we are in a calm state, we are a good decision maker. Also, it has found that it has increased alpha and beta brainwave. I will talk about the alpha and beta brainwave later on when we will talk about this. And they have found that you know that when you are having a very peaceful state, there is healthy neurotransmitter level inside your brain. We have many neurotransmitter. I think you all have heard about their name: serotonin, dopamine, GABA, and they have found that when you are having a very peaceful state, these neurotransmitter are in balanced level. That is why when people are going through some mental disorder, some panic attack, some depression, they give some medicine called SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, to balance your serotonin level. Okay, now these are the aspects of peace from psychology and neuroscience. Now, what we can do to make peace, or what we can do to become more peaceful in our life. So, the first thing is mindfulness. We all can practice mindfulness. Maybe we can start with 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, then we can gradually increase. And there are different kind of mindfulness. Breathing mindfulness, multidimensional mindfulness, like we call it five sense mindfulness. Then walking mindfulness. Then body scan mindfulness. So choose a mindfulness which best suits you. If you don't feel like sitting in a cross-leg position in the lotus posture, then it's fine. You do the body scanning mindfulness, you do the walking mindfulness, or you do five sense mindfulness. So choose the kind of mindfulness which suits your nature, which suits your lifestyle. Okay, if you feel like doing mindfulness, keeping the sound, putting a soft music, that also fine. If you feel like no, the sound will distract me, I will just practice the mindfulness without having any music, that is also fine. Okay, and you can do anything. I mean, mindfulness is such a wonderful thing that you can attach with any activity, in your day-to-day life. You can be very mindful while washing your dishes. You can be mindful while playing with your pets. I have observed that when people play with their pets, they don't think about past and future. So that is a very good form of mindfulness. So uh, we have a stereotype concept about mindfulness, that mindfulness means always we have to sit in the lotus posture, we need to close our eyes, and we need to focus on our breathing sensation. Not exactly. If you can do that, that is great. If you cannot do that, that's also fine. You can do some kind of mindfulness, with some activity. You can do tai chi or qigong, or if you know any kind of martial art, or if you know any kind of body movement, there also you can do mindfulness. And like Teach Nhat Hanh, in his books, he has given this example again and again, that mindfully washing the dishes, or maybe mindfully just sitting in a park bench and mindfully just experience the moment without thinking about past and future. Mindfully sipping the tea and cup of coffee. I do that every day, when in the morning I first get a cup of coffee before going to my office for my daily job. I try to take a mindful sip of a cup of coffee. Okay, that is also mindfulness. So choose any kind of mindfulness or meditation which suits your lifestyle, which suits your nature, which suits your taste, right? Because we all human beings are different, and maybe one practice may not suit all the people. The second thing is, accepting what we cannot control. Most of the time we face struggle, we hustle, we fight through different kind of situation which we cannot control. We just need to let it be, and we just need to accept that it is not in our control. We can journal our emotions and our thoughts. That is a very good practice. And when I was going through my own therapy, I was going through a ERP, exposure response prevention, and also I had my CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and that time I used to do that, journaling my thoughts and emotions, connecting to nature. Okay, that has a wonderful effect on our body and on our mind. And even there were some researches, maybe next time I can tell you about the research, that any walk amidst the nature, or if you are walking in the nature trail, if you're just near a tree, that gives uh, serenity, or that brings you a sense of peace. Okay, maybe one day I will talk about that research. Another important thing is our sleep and diet. Okay, nowadays we are mostly glued to our screen, so we don't have enough sleep, but sleep is also very important. And if you practice mindfulness and you feel sleepy and you sleep, that is absolutely fine. Especially body scanning mindfulness, you are doing body scanning mindfulness and you feel sleepy and you slept, yeah, that is a great thing. Okay, because we are not able to sleep sometimes because we have stress going on inside our mind. And when we practice mindfulness, our stress level goes down. The body naturally goes to the state of sleep. Even there was some research which was conducted that how mindfulness improves our sleep. There were two group of people. One was put onto the sleep hygiene and sleep therapy, and one group was put into the mindfulness. And after 8 weeks of MBSR training, mindfulness based stress reduction, it was found that those group who has gone through the MBSR training, their sleep quality was much better. They woke up very less uh, in middle of the sleep. I will tell about that research later on. And the last thing, which is very important, that we should not take things personally. We have a habit of taking all things personally. We need to remember that we all are going through our own kind of suffering. If a person is being rude to me, is being mean to me, is being, I mean, uh, he or she is being cruel to me, it's not always about me. It's also about their own mental state. Sometimes, their sadness, their suffering just spilling from their cup, and that is being shown to me like a rudeness. So we just need to know that all are human beings, we all have gone through difficult times, and we should not take things personally. We all are, going through difficult time in life. Sometimes, I mean, not all the time, but sometimes we go through difficult times, and maybe there are situations. I can still remember when I was in my teens. Whenever I had a bad day, I used to come to my house and I used to shout at my mother. That was a kind of release, and I think you can relate to your experience as well. That maybe you had a bad day and you came to your house and you shouted at your father, mother, or your husband or your sister. That was a form of release, just to channel the anger. We all had done it. I had done it. I can tell you. But in office, in relationships, in our society, this kind of thing happens. But we need to practice healthy detachment. Even though some person is being mean and rude to me, we can empathize, and that is the real test of empathy. In easy situation we all can empathize, but in difficult situation it's difficult to empathize. So these are the things that we all can um, follow, and we can have a more peaceful life. Okay, I took a couple of minutes more, so now I can just stop. And if you have any question, if you want to share your experience, because I told you I also learned from your experience. We are in this community, in this Buddha center, to learn from each other and grow and become a better, more compassionate human being. So any question, any experience, anything? Acha, Sophie has shared something. Let me just check. I have emotional issue. A therapist helped me get past a period of difficult, teaching me about the amygdala and how my body mind is reacting to the perception of threats. She taught me to pay attention to my body mind and breathe. Slowly over time I have learned to reach for that inner focus during times of crisis. अच्छा let me just check. Uh, uh, She taught me to pay attention to my body and mind. Slowly over time, I have learned to reach for that inner focus during times of crisis. I can let go of that fear the amygdala offers me and say, no, thank you. Ah, whoa, that is great. That is great. I'm so glad, Sophie, that finally you could tame your amygdala and you could say, no, thank you. Great. Acha, Anaya has asked a question. What is the difference of mindfulness and meditation? So, there are different kind of meditations and mindfulness, Anaya, from different culture and traditions. Like in Hinduism, there are, I mean, I don't know exactly how many, but there are many form of meditation. I mean, more than 20, 30, 40 form of meditation. There is breathing meditation. There is a transcendental meditation. There is one point of time in USA, transcendental meditation was very popular, and there was a person called Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, and even the Beatle, the famous band Beatle, associated with this transcendental meditation. They came into India in a place called Rishikesh, and they created an ashram. But something bitter happened. I will tell you about that later on. But mindfulness and meditation, there is difference. Mindfulness mostly rooted in Buddhism. The kind of mindfulness that we practice nowadays, mostly rooted in Buddhism, and it has come from a sutra. Okay, in Buddhism, in Pali language, it's called Sutta, Satipatthana Sutta. Okay, so the that particular form that we practice in form of mindfulness or vipassana. But meditations has come from different religions and cultures, and there are different kind of meditation. Both have some similarities, because both the mindfulness and both the meditation has one common thing, that is focusing on something. Okay, Dima said, I would suggest meditation is a set of techniques and actions which are for training us in mindfulness. Mindfulness is part, yeah, you can say. Mindfulness is a part of the Eightfold Path. So Buddha taught about the Eightfold Path. Mindfulness is one of it. And meditation, uh, there are many techniques, many meditations are there in the entire world. And I sometimes believe that mindfulness is also a kind of meditation. And because both, any kind of meditation has one thing in common, you are practicing focus, you are practicing concentration, you are focusing on the present moment, that is mindfulness, and you are experiencing it fully. Sometimes we focus on a mantra, that is the form of transcendental meditation. There is some kind of meditation where some visualizations is there, mostly from coming from tantric part of rituals, where some visualizations are mentioned. So you can say that the basic difference between mindfulness and meditations is mindfulness basically came from the Buddhism, from Satipatthana Sutra, and meditation has come from different religions and from different belief system, from different faith. Okay, any other question anyone has got? I'm glad that you all are asking question. Okay, any other question anyone has got? Okay, I think Sophie is writing something, so we can just wait for. My voice is clear, right? Sometimes, in India the internet is not that stable like USA or Europe. So anytime if you are not able to hear my voice, please let me know. Yeah, exactly. So John said that, what next, in one of the book he said. True. That is why, in ancient culture, in tradition, it said that we have got a monkey mind. It never sits still. It is always going from one branch to another, and it takes time to tame the mind. So we all have got this, monkey mind, and it is always looking for the next. So it is always makes us chasing things without stopping and smelling the rose or smelling a flower. Okay, okay. So I hope today we got to learn something about peace from the yeah. So we thought maybe we learned something from the psychology and neuroscience point of view. And even later also, if you have any question, you can ask me. I'm not online, most of the time because I have a full-time job which I have to do. But at any point of time, you can feel free to ask any question. Or I think they have a Discord channel as well, Buddha Center, and there also you can ask any question. And next Saturday, I will come back again at 10 a.m. SLT, and we will learn something new. So thank you so much for joining, and it was a great time with all of you and sharing the little things that I have learned in my journey. And I am very hopeful that I will also learn many things from you. Okay, namaste then. Yeah, you're most welcome. You're most welcome.
Thank you very much, Brody. This was a very enjoyable time. I look forward to the future.